The Japanese organization Nihon Hidankyo has won the Nobel Peace Prize. It's a grassroots movement of atomic bomb survivors from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These survivors are known as the Hibakusha. The organization beat hundreds of other nominees. Nobel Peace Committee said that nuclear powers have a responsibility to uphold the nuclear taboo. For more, let's speak to the chairman, Jorgen Frydnes. He's joining us on the line from Oslo. Thank you very much. Take us through this announcement, first of all. Why this organization and why now?
Thank you so much for having me. The Nihon Hidankyo is a movement of the Hibakusha, the survivors of the atomic bomb attacks in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. What they have been doing for 7 decades up to this day is to create and uphold a nuclear taboo, an international norm against using nuclear weapons, stigmatizing them as morally unacceptable. At this time in human history, we see that nuclear weapons, the threat is being made regular basis, and this nuclear taboo is under pressure. So this is a prize which both reflects on the urgent matters of not using nuclear weapons, and at the same time, it is a message of hope that individuals who have lived through painful stories are now still upholding this a really important norm.
And it's going to predate your time as chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, but Nihon Hidankyo was nominated before for the Nobel Peace Prize, including during the Cold War. What makes this time so much worse than the Cold War?
Well, the situation is alarming, but the work of Nihon Hidankyo and the Hibakusha are still going on to this day. And we see it as a fundamental possibility for this organization and their voices to still establish and maintaining this really important norm against the use of these weapons. So why now? Well, again, we see the threats, but also we want to highlight how important this organization and their members have been in making sure the astonishing fact that next year we're entering the year where no nuclear weapons have been used for more than 80 years.
After the announcement was made, the head of the organization said this should be a powerful symbol that nuclear abolition is possible. Do you think that is being overly optimistic?
Well, the road to a nuclear-free world will both be long and dangerous, but it is our firm belief that the humankind cannot be at peace before nuclear weapons is all getting rid of. So overly optimistic, well, that is their role, and that is what they have also been for 7 decades. And by doing so, they have been upholding this norm, which has kept us alive from the use of nuclear weapons.
And by the mere fact that Nihon Hidankyo was chosen for to win this year's Nobel Peace Prize, is that a statement from the committee that there was no one deserving from either the conflicts in Gaza or Lebanon or Ukraine of the Nobel Peace Prize this year?
Well, the Nobel Peace Prize is only handed out to one organization or individual each year. So this year we focus on the nuclear threat and on the testimonies, which has been crucial for upholding the norm against the use of nuclear weapons. So it's not a comment on anything else than this is a worthy winner of this year.
I know that some bookmakers had thought that perhaps the late Russian dissident, Alexei Navalny, could have won this year's Nobel Peace Prize. Of course, there are some debate as to whether he could have done that posthumously. Does the committee, or would the committee, ever consider giving a Nobel Peace Prize to someone who had passed away?
Well, our rules is quite clear on that. We cannot give the prize to a deceased person. The only possibility, if that could happen, is that we make the decision before the person passes.
So there are rules, but those rules could change.
Not very likely, no.
Okay, all right. Jorgen, thank you so much for your time and explaining this decision to us. Jorgen Frydnes, the chair of the Norwegian Nobel Peace Committee. Thank you very much for joining us from Oslo. Thank you.
Thank you.